welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and practice with me. My name is Kelsey, if you don't know me yet. Today's class will be focusing on hamstrings, lots of hamstring opening, getting into half splits, full splits. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's about 45 minutes, give or take a little bit. If you like these videos, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe, all the things. Your support does not go unnoticed, and I appreciate you very much. I am also offering private lessons online, so if you like these classes and you'd like to work together one-on-one, I'll also link that below so you can head over to my website, look into all of that, send me a DM, happy to chat, happy to connect with you all. Over on Instagram is probably the best way. You can also comment on these videos, but I think I'm a little bit more active over there. For today's class, you can have 2 or even 3 blocks if you have those. Again, I still have not bought some blocks for myself. I will get to that, but it'll be a little bit helpful as we get into the half splits to provide a little bit more support. And then lastly, we do have a playlist as always. I will link that below in my Spotify account. It's YouTube number 4. This class will include the Bhakti Flow piece, which is where we sync up our breath to movement to the beat of a song. So I recommend using the playlist. You don't have to if you don't want to. Personally, I think that it helps kind of stay in your mat, in the space, especially as you're at home and you have lots of distractions and noises and other things going on. Sometimes when you just blast some music, that's when you can really get into the zone. So you can either do it in a separate browser, or if you'd like to set up a separate device entirely, I play it on my computer off to the side, and that's kind of what works for me if I have, or you can do vice versa, where it's playing on your phone and the computer actually has the YouTube video. So, all right, enough talking for me. We'll go ahead. I'll give you a moment and you can kind of get the playlist going. You can also pause the video, get yourself all situated. We'll hit the play button on the count of 1, so I'm going to count down from 3. So once you get all set up, we will play in 3, 2, 1. Cool, there we go. Was not going there for a second. Ah, technology. Let's start in a child's pose. So we're going to let the knees come out wide. Hips are sinking back. Fingertips are reaching forward. Chest is melting down, a lot or a little. Meeting your body wherever you're at today, without any kind of judgment, without any label. Using these next few cycles of breath just to land here. Releasing any thoughts, any truths that you tell about yourself that maybe aren't true. Letting anything go that's not going to serve you, not going to benefit you in this practice. And then bringing that awareness in towards your breath. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest, even in this position. And on your inhale, start to walk the left fingertips back. Sliding the right arm underneath the left, threading the needle. That right palm can face up or down. Right cheek or forehead can land on the mat. And on your inhale, walk your left fingertips back in. Right arm rises, counter stretch. Swap the hands out, right hand plants, left arm threads underneath. couple deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, walk your right fingertips back. Left arm rises, taking that counter stretch. Placing both hands back down. We'll press into the palms, and on your inhale, start to lift your hips up. Soles of your feet come together. And allow those hips to drop, maybe a couple cracks, opening the chest up. And exhale, send your hips back, child's pose. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Drop the hips down, open the chest, maybe taking it a bit deeper each time. And exhale, send the hips back. One more like that. Inhale, reaching forward, opening up. And exhale, send the hips back. Next, inhale, coming forward to a tabletop position. And starting to drop the belly, open the chest, tailbone rises. On your exhale, press into the palms around the spine, maybe shifting that weight forward slightly. One more like that. Inhale, belly drops. And exhale, press into the palms, puffing up through the shoulder blades. And coming back to a neutral position. Bring your palms about one palm print out in front of where they were. Tucking your toes, lifting your hips, meeting in downward facing dog. Adjusting where needed. You can check your stance by bringing your hand back, left hand to the right leg, making sure you're able to touch somewhere. And if not, shorten that stance a little bit. One more deep breath here. We're going to get moving quickly today. Your inhale, lift both heels up. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step your right foot up between your hands, lifting the chest up. And exhale, left foot follows, forward fold. Inhale, come to a halfway lift, reach the crown of your head forward. And exhale, fold. On your next inhale, bending the knees, rise all the way up, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms, taking a minor back bend here, just warming up the spine. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back, meeting in that high plank. Start to shift your weight forward. Lower down half or all the way. Elbows are pulled in. Inhale, opening yourself up, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, send the hips back, downward facing. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step the left foot up. Opening that chest up, feeling a stretch through that hip flexor in the right side. And exhale, right foot follows, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, take that back bend, maybe going a bit deeper if it feels okay. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your flow. Keeping those hips lifted, core is tight. And coming back to downward facing. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Travel to the front. You can either switch off with those feet or float up. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. This time on your exhale, coming straight back down. We'll take one more, sun A. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your vinyasa, or if you you'd like to skip this, you can always just come right into downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath here, really filling up through the lungs. And exhale, let it go. Press that chest back towards your thighs. One more like that. Inhale, fill all the way up. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the front. Travel up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, take those cactus arms here. Opening the chest up. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, sink your hips down, coming into chair pose. Tuck that tailbone in. All the weight's in your heels. Hands can stay at heart center or they can remain lifted up towards the ceiling. Holding it for one more breath here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your vinyasa. If you are taking that hop back, make sure to land with your elbows bent. So you're taking some of the pressure off that low back. Pedal out the feet. And planting your left foot down on your inhale, right leg rises. Bends the right knee to open that hip up. You can stay still here or maybe taking some circles with that right knee. Ooh, hitting the wall if you're near one. And going in the opposite direction. And on your inhale, right toes rise. Exhale, step that right foot in between the hands. Stay low here. Find that connection between your belly and your thigh. And on your inhale, see if you can keep it for as long as you're able to. Straightening through the right leg. Pull that right hip back. Exhale, re-bend into the knee, chest rises. Inhale, straightening it out. Exhale, bend. Holding it here. On your next inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Exhale, left heel comes down, warrior two. Inhale, right arm reaches back behind you, exalted warrior. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame that right foot. Step your right foot back. Maybe you keep it lifted as you take that flow. Maybe you don't. It's just a suggestion. Coming back to downward facing. Inhale, left leg rises. Bends that left knee. Staying right here to open the hip or taking circles. Doing whatever works for you. Then on your next inhale, the left toes rise. Exhale, bring that left foot in between the hands. Find that connection on your left side. On your inhale, straighten the left leg, pull the left hip back. The connection will probably fall away, that's okay. Exhale, bend into it, chest is opening up. Inhale, straighten, pull the left hip back. Exhale, bend, opening up that chest. Inhale, straighten, last one here. Exhale, bend. On your next inhale, we'll rise all the way up to that crescent lunge. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, right heel comes down, warrior two. Inhale, exalts back, left arm's reaching towards the back wall. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Kick that left foot back. Take your flow. Coming into downward facing. Your inhale, both heels lift. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Travel to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hips sink down, come back into that chair pose. One breath here, really opening those arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your flow. Opening that chest up. And coming to downward facing. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step that right foot through. Stay low here. Inhale, straighten the right leg, keeping that chest melting forward. Right hip is pulled back. Exhale, bend into it. Inhale, step, pull the right hip back. Words. Exhale, bend the right knee. One more. Inhale, straighten the right leg, pull the right hip back. Exhale, bend into it. This time, place your hands down on your mat. Pull from that low belly. Start to lift the right foot up, then kick it back. Take your flow. Meeting back in downward facing. And on your inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Staying here. Inhale, straighten out through the left leg, pull the left hip back. Exhale, re-bend into it. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Last one. Inhale, straightening that leg, pulling the left hip back. And exhale, bend. Plant the hands down. Carefully lift that left foot up. Kick it back to three-legged and take your flow. Again, you can skip that at any time. Coming into downward facing. All right, we're getting right into this today. If you'd like to take a breather here, you can drop your knees down for a moment. We'll take one cycle of breath. Inhale, fill all the way up. And exhale, let it go. Next, inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Shifting that weight forward over your wrists. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick it back to three-legged. Exhale, over to the left tricep, taking that tap. Inhale, kick it back. And exhale, step that right foot all the way through. Stay low here. Inhale, straightening the right leg. Exhale, re-bend into it. Start to walk your fingertips out a little bit in front of that right foot. Then we'll bend into the back left leg. We're going to launch off of it on our inhale, coming into standing splits. That left leg is lifted. Maybe you're right here. That's cool. It is a practice. We're at all different spots in this journey. Lifting that left hip up. Hips are squared down towards the mat. You can stay here, or right hand can reach back onto that right calf to help pull your chest a little bit closer. And gently starting to release it. Hands can also be on blocks here. On your next exhale, we're going to bring the right toes, left toes, to tap the left wrist. So you're pulling that belly in order for that leg to sweep through. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, taking that tap. Maybe your left hand comes back slightly to help meet it part of the way. Inhale it up. Last one, exhale, tap. Inhale, left leg rises. And on your exhale, bend into the right knee, placing that left foot down behind you. Once you've landed and you feel stable, on your inhale, we'll lift up, crescent lunge. Exhale, left heel comes down. Whew, warrior two, getting sweaty in here. Inhale, right arm reaches back. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame that right foot. Gently pulling it up off the mat, kick it back, take your flow. Opening the chest up and coming back to downward facing. Take a deep breath here. Inhale, fill all the way up. And exhale, let it go. Next, inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Pressing through the palms. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, over to the right tricep, taking that twist. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands, staying low here. Inhale, start to straighten the left leg. Pull the left hip back. Exhale, rebend into it, holding it here. Hands will walk out in front of you. Start to bend into that back right knee. Inhale, lift yourself up, standing splits on the opposite side. You might notice that one side feels better for you than another. You're in good company, we are humans. Our sides are not equal all the time. Maybe you bring that left hand onto the left calf to allow your chest to melt forward. Gaze is behind you if you are able to remain steady as you do that. And on your next exhale, right toes, gonna come tap that right wrist. So you're pulling in through the low belly. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, right toes, right wrist. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, take that tap once more. Inhale, right leg rises. Then bends into the left knee. Right foot steps back. Finding that stability here. Then on your inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, right heel comes down, warrior two. Inhale, left arm reaches towards the back, exalted warrior. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame that left foot. Being careful here to nicely lift that foot up, taking your flow. Opening the chest up. And coming back to downward facing. On your inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Travel to the front. Inhale, come to the halfway lift. And exhale, fold. One more like that. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold. Stay here for an extra breath. Maybe grabbing onto opposite elbows. Taking a gentle sway side to side. Catching up with your breath for a moment. We've got one more side. We'll add on a bit here. Releasing your hands back down to the mat. On your inhale, come back to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. Maybe taking that gentle back bend on your exhale. Inhale, rise back up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your flow. Keeping those elbows in towards your ribcage. I almost use them as a shelf to help bring my body weight up. And on your inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to left tricep, hold it here. And place that right foot down on the mat, left arm rises. Coming into fallen triangle here. The hips are lifting up towards the ceiling. Opening through the left shoulder blade. One more breath here. You might feel this on your right arm if it's shaking. That's great. And on your exhale, left hand's gonna come down. Pull that right foot back. Opening the hip at the top once you get there. On your inhale, right leg rises. And exhale, step that right foot up to your hands. Stay low. Inhale, straighten the right leg, pull the right hip back. Exhale, bend into it. Walk those hands out in front of you. Then on your inhale, push off that back left leg, coming back to standing splits. Exhale, left toes, tap the left wrist. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, tap. Keep this part in mind, it'll be in our flow later. Inhale, left toes rise. Last one, exhale, tap. Inhale, lifting the leg up. Exhale, we'll place that left foot back behind us. Inhale, lifts you up, crescent lunge. Hips are squared towards the front, left heel is lifted. And exhale, left heel comes down, warrior two. Inhale, right arm reaches towards the back. Start to straighten through the right leg. And on your exhale, we're gonna come into triangle pose. So both legs are straight, right toes are towards the front, left toes towards the long edge of the mat. Start to reach the right fingertips forward as far as you can, pushing the left hip back. Then eventually placing the right arm down. Left arm lifts up towards the ceiling. You can land on the shin if you have a block. Great time to use it there. The best way I can think to describe this is that you are a piece of toast and you are trying to keep everything in line. So my chest is not forward. You're pulling it back like you're being slotted into a toaster oven, which is a weird thing to think about, but there you have it. And on your exhale, left hand's gonna come down, right arm rises. Inhaling that right arm up, so you're taking a revolved triangle. It's a lot of twisting, a lot going on in that front right leg right now. And on your exhale, right hand's gonna come down, come onto the left toes, so you're back in that low lunge. And carefully lift the right foot up, take your flow. Opening the chest up, and coming back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. We've got one more side here. On your inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Shifting that weight forward. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Round your spine, puff through your shoulder blades. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, over to the right tricep. Hold it here. And place that left foot down. Right arm rises. You're coming into that fallen triangle on the opposite side. So instead of keeping the hips down, lift them up. You're pressing into both feet. Pressing out through the left palm. Gaze can be anywhere between your hands. One more breath here. On your exhale, right hand's gonna come down. Roll onto the right toes and then pull that left leg through. Maybe bending the left knee to open up the hip, little counter stretch. Inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, step that left foot between your hands. Stay low here. Inhale, straighten through the left leg, pull the left hip back. Exhale, re-bend into it. Walk your hands way out in front of you, bend into that back right leg. On your inhale, we'll come to standing splits. Right toes is rising. Exhale, right toes, tap the right wrist. Inhale, the three-legged. Exhale, right toes tap. Inhale, kick it back. Last one, exhale, right toes tap. Inhale it back. And on your exhale, right foot lands behind you. Setting up for crescent lunge on your inhale. Both your hips are towards the front. And exhale, right heel comes down, warrior two. Inhale, exalt it back, this time straightening that through that left leg. And exhale, slowly start to rise up. Right toes are turned towards the long edge of your mat. Left toes are towards the front. Push the right hip back. Reach the left fingertips as far forward as you can. And let that left arm release down onto the shin, onto a block, onto your thigh. You want to focus more on keeping everything in line. That chest is stacked, left shoulder over the left knee. That means you have to lift up for that to happen. That's great. Taking a deep breath here. And swapping it out. Right hand's going to come down onto the mat. Left arm rises. Taking that revolve. And on your exhale, left hand comes down to frame the left foot. Roll onto the right toes. Carefully lift that left foot up and take your flow. Opening the chest up and coming back to downward facing. On your inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step that right foot between the hands, then drop the left knee down, untuck the toes. Grab the blocks if you have them nearby, would like to use them. And when you're ready, bringing them back to frame the right foot or your hands just down on the mat, coming into half splits. So that right toes are flexed, right hip is pulled back. Maybe you're right here, maybe you're up here. If you'd like to walk that right foot out further, feel free to try it out. If splits are in your practice, amazing. If they're not, I'm right there with you. It's very challenging. Take a deep breath here. You can stay here, or if you'd like to take your left hand to the outside edge of the right foot, you can introduce a little bit of a twist. Slightly different stretch on that right hamstring. Slowing it down for a little bit here before we flow it out in that last little bit. Gently release that if you took it. Heel toe that right foot back in. Maybe you have to go back and forth, or lift it up. Hands will plant down to frame the right foot. Tuck the left toes, lift the left hip. Step that right foot back, take your flow. And coming back to downward facing. Same thing on the opposite side. On your inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, step that left foot in between the hands. And gently place the right knee down, untuck the toes. Grabbing those blocks if you would like to use them. Otherwise, just using your hands down on the mat. Shift your weight back, pulling that left hip back, and flexing your toes once you get here. Taking a few cycles of breath just like this. Can you have the option, if you'd like to intensify, to walk that left foot out a little bit further? Just as much as is, I like to say comfortable, but it's sort of embracing discomfort here. If you feel any pinching or numbing, pull it back. You want to feel a light opening here. 2 more cycles of breath. Maybe bring the right hand to the outside edge of that left foot. Take that little bit of a twist. Slowly coming back to center. Shift the weight forward, heel toe that left foot back in line with your hands. Maybe pick it up and lift it. Tuck the right toes, lift the right hip. Step that left foot back. Take your flow. And coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Travel to the front. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And on your exhale, come right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your flow. And then meet in child's pose. So your knees drop down, sinking your hips back. Take a deep breath here. We're going to start to flow it out. All things that we've done today. 3 times. Last round will be on your own. So coming back to downward facing dog whenever you are ready. This is an inhale here. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg rises. Inhale. Step the right foot through, exhale. Standing splits, inhale, left toes rise. Tap the wrist, exhale. Left toes rise, inhale. Step the left foot back, exhale. Crescent, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Exalt, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left leg, inhale. Step the left foot through, exhale. Right toes lift, standing, inhale. Tap the right wrist, exhale. Right toes rise, inhale. Step the right foot back, exhale. Crescent lunge, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Exalt, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing. Right leg. Step it through. Standing splits. Tap the wrist. Standing splits. Left foot back. Crescent lunge. Warrior two. Exalt. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Left leg. Step it through. You all know it. Standing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Right leg. Find your breath here. If you mess up, that is fine. Left leg. We'll meet in downward facing dog whenever you are ready. Trying to keep this breath for a moment. And dropping your knees down to the mat. Sink your hips back in child's pose. Maybe swaying your head side to side to massage that temple, your forehead. On your next inhale, press into the palms, lift your hips up, tucking your toes, coming back to downward facing. As always, taking one last chaturanga here together. Inhale, lift the heels, roll forward to a high plank. Exhale, lower down half or all the way. Inhale, open yourself up, upward facing or cobra. And exhale, coming into downward facing dog. One more deep breath here. Allowing your knees to drop down onto the mat. Swing your feet through, letting your legs come out long. Reaching them out in front of you. Sitting up tall, you can always sit on a block here. Our inhale, reach both arms up overhead. And exhale, starting to reach your fingertips forward. They can land on your shins, on your quads. You can grab onto your feet. Using your hands to help pull your chest a little bit closer. Being very gentle, mindful here. And eventually letting your head release down. On your next inhale, start to walk your hands back. Placing them down behind you, scooch forward slightly, bending your knees, and coming back down onto the mat. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Maybe swaying side to side. Coming back to center. Let your knees stack over your hips, hands come out to the side. On your exhale, allow both legs to drift over to the left side. Supine twist, pulling the right shoulder down. Couple breaths here. On your next inhale, coming back through center. And exhale, allowing your knees to fall over to the right side. Pull that left shoulder down. 2 breaths here. Your next inhale, coming back to center. Pulling everything into a tiny ball. Head and shoulders lift up on the mat. And exhale, release. Let everything come out long, palms face up towards the ceiling. Feet can splay out wide. Setting up for your final Shavasana Pose. Always resisting the urge to quickly hop up and move on to the next thing. Take just this 30-second pause here. I will let you know when it's time to move. Allowing your next inhale to be the deepest one you've taken so far today. Filling all the way up, letting that chest rise. And exhale, let it go. Allowing your thumbs to brush against each fingertip, wiggling out the toes. Rolling the wrists and ankles. Let your arms drift up overhead, taking one last full body stretch. And on your exhale, pull your knees in towards your chest. Rolling over to one side and pushing yourself up into a seated position. together. We'll take one more deep breath here. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, bringing them to prayer, landing in front of the heart center. Gently opening the eyes. Thank you for taking the time to come to your mat today. Till next time, namaste.